Welcome, welcome, welcome to Faith and F Boys. And on this podcast, we discuss personal development, millennialism, and relationships through the lens of a Christian woman. My name is Yin.
I'm Yang.
And today we're going to just give you guys a girl chat. There's been something that has been on our spirits, and we just want to kind of just really discuss it with you. And definitely, if you have any suggestions, any questions, or any comments, feel free to leave it down below. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about jealousy and envy and all of that good stuff. Do you want me to tell my story or tell yours? Or just the process of, I guess we can make it a topic. The process of feeling purpose and,
experiencing jealousy.
During that process, you can experience jealousy amongst your peers, your loved ones, or some type of envy. Sometimes it's like positive jealousy, meaning they're kind of just seeing that you're doing well. They're like, man, I got to get it together.
Yeah.
Versus that hatred and that negative jealousy where they're just like, why can't I do that? But you're not fulfilling your purpose, sweetie. Anyway,
yeah.
So can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, so I do think they go hand in hand as we progress, as we knock down more barriers, as we realign, maybe find new skills, new purpose, try new things. That comes with fear as well as like just being uncomfortable. And so I think that's kind of where the jealousy can come in, because it's like you're doing something new, you're vulnerable. When you're vulnerable, you normally look outwards to other things, and you might be looking at other people doing something similar to you, and you kind of just take a look and see what they're doing, and then you begin to make the comparisons, which is very natural. And I think you should use it's okay to act in that way, as long as you are using it more of an encouragement or to wake yourself up, than to actually store a sense of resentment towards someone or hatred, or become negative or express the negative feelings or thoughts you have towards what someone else is doing. I do think, jealousy is just something we all will go through. Some people have seasons of jealousy. Some people just have small moments of jealousy. And I think that being jealous and envious, it's just a human thing that we go through. The thing is to not stay in that place, not stay in that emotion, because it's just an emotion and it should pass. Now, when you are being jealous, when you are experiencing being jealous and you're staying in that, and it's like something that at some point drives your actions, drives your thoughts, your thinking, or whatever, that's when, it may be a problem. There's a lot of jealousy that just stems from being on social media. You might not even be a creator. You might not even be an entrepreneur. You might just be, a part of this virtual world that has been created with us all playing a part in it. And, you might become jealous just looking at the things that other people have. I think it's true. I think it's very important to be one with yourself and very in tune with who you are, and know who you are and know your purpose. And constantly you have to remind yourself of this, because internet throws so much at you in one day, at one time, in one sitting where you're on social media, that, you can begin to lose those things. But of course, everybody has had jealous spells before, but I think we're going to be more talking about people who, one, it's very important to know when you're having a jealous moment or a jealous season, so that you can get out of that. But we're going to be talking more about people who may pose being positive or being ambitious and progressing, but it's fueled by jealousy. It's fueled by just getting a reaction or reacting to something you see. So we're going to kind of touch on the negatives of it, and then.
But before we get into that, I want to tell you guys something, okay? So jealousy is a real thing. It's a very normal thing. In fact, hatred is a normal thing. It's easier to hate than to love. I mean, we come out impure. This world is filled with hate, and we do have love, but if you really sit here and ask yourself, how much work does it take to hate? It's natural. It's easy to look at someone and not like them. It's easy to look at someone and want their life. It's easy to say mean things, whereas it's harder to love, meaning it's harder to say you were wrong. It's harder to apologize. It's harder to hold yourself from saying mean things because you may hurt that person's feelings. It's harder for you to support somebody that may even be doing what you're doing. It's so much harder to love. Now, it's a beautiful thing and a natural thing that we should do, but it's definitely way harder. So what people are feeling when they are jealous is a very normal thing. But like Shan was talking about, you don't want it to take over your spirit and for you to have a jealous spirit.
Lead with it.
There's a big difference. And I will talk about it personally because, again, we keep it transparent. When I was younger, I had a very jealous spirit. I mean, I was young. A lot of people would be like, oh, you were a kid. But I knew what I was doing. I wanted all the attention. I used to hate on my sister because my sister was dope. I saw her dopeness at a very young age, and I just wanted all the attention. I was still dope too, but I didn't want anybody to be doper than me. And, and even that statement that I just said when I was a child, a lot of people are still having those childlike statements where they could never support their friend that may have more than them. That's a real question. How giving are you really? Will you still give your resources to someone that's in a better position than you? Or will you say, nah, they don't
need it.
Let me save this for myself, And then will you give to someone that's maybe in the same industry that's possibly a competitor? Now, there is business knowledge where you don't want to be out here stupid. But if you do have something that you know you're not going to utilize, but you're just keeping it to yourself because you don't want that person to progress, that's jealousy, And, we could share a little bit more about personal experiences with jealousy. But, right now I've experienced somebody that isn't a close friend, but I've consistently see this person display jealousy, meaning they come off like Shem was saying, as if they are a positive person. Baby girl, this is a Christian woman too. Christian woman. So, we're not perfect. And I believe what she's doing, but I have seen, even in the way she communicates, is that there's a lot of hatred in her heart when she's communicating. Whether it's about God, whether it's about let's not do this, it's coming from a kind of like a condemning, demeaning way. Like, first of all, we don't even know what you got going on. Only you know. Only you and God knows. But when you're talking about it and you want to uplift people, you want to be as positive as possible. You don't want to
meet people where they are as part of it.
Meet people where they are. You don't want to make it seem as if y'all busy want to do this and this. I don't know what y'all get out of this and this. Y'all just gonna get this and this. Girl, nobody want to hear your negative voice, at all. It's annoying. I will mute you. I will unfollow you, and she is pending in that area. But, and then personally, when it comes to the F&F brand, I've seen this person consistently, and my own personal page, showcase ignorance, hatred, and
just negativity. And it's not something that I don't think she's unaware of. I think she's aware of it to the point that she wants you to feel it.
And this is someone that is our biggest fan. This is someone that is my biggest fan. And I'm not being egotistical. When you know that you provide this type of resource or inspiration for people, embrace it. God gives you gifts. Embrace it. You know your work. You know what you bring to the table. You know your purpose. Say it, claim it. Don't get cocky. And I'm not getting cocky, but I'm telling you, I know what she gets from listening to me from F&F and how we're doing great things, talking about great topics, making great content. And someone that is loving and that isn't allowing themselves to be overpowered by the spirit of resentment, will showcase love, or if they don't agree with something, will showcase their opinions. Be like, well, I don't agree, but here's my opinion. But somebody that's a hater is just going to constantly thumbs down something, or somebody that's going to constantly say no, or somebody's going to constantly subliminally post videos that go against what you said and talk down about what you said. Let me tell you something, sweetie, because I'm sure you're listening because you're our biggest fan.
Oh my goodness.
Let me tell you. Look, we love you and we still support you regardless of what you're doing. That is number one, because I'm not about to get to your level. We're not about to get to your level and showcase hate, because hate, that makes war. Hate, it doesn't push anyone forward. And when you hate on somebody, this is a tip. I want you guys to take this way home. When you hate on somebody, maybe you even start to copy them, and maybe you're inspired by them. That's dope. But you may actually walk out of purpose because you're trying to do what they're doing versus doing what you're called to do. So now you don't have that tunnel vision on what your assignment is. You're now saying, oh, well, she doing this. I always wanted to do that. Oh, well, that's looking good. I should be doing that. She don't even do it that good. Sweetie, you weren't called to do it. You weren't called to do it. And maybe you are called to do it, but you're focused on replicating what we're doing, or hating on it, that you're taking away, you're dimming your light, you're taking away the time you could be using to progress yourself. So like I said, number one, we love you, we support you. Number two, we see you, sis, we see you. And when we see people that do those type of things, we still love you, but it's from a distance. Meaning when you see that people are showcasing these angry hater things, continue to love on them because they need that love. And two, kind of tiptoe a little bit behind, let them, because you don't want to be too close to those people and they start putting harm on you. And I can't lie that initially I had to step back a little bit, because I was like, I'm about to hit this girl with the wall. She's not about to know what hit her. And then I was like, we are children of God.
All in the same breath.
Bless this girl. God bless. We're going to give her some love, and that's what we've been doing. And it feels good.
It does feel good. It doesn't feel like a response to her negative responses. It just feels like this is what you're supposed to do in response, naturally, or just being children of God. So, I think that it's just best that, there's more than one way to support, and it's not always, I think it's just there's ways to be genuine, and there's ways in which you can be disingenuous, and you have to constantly ask yourself, am I supporting them because am I supporting them, quote unquote, but secretly just letting them know that I don't agree with something? Or am I supporting them because I actually want to partake and participate and be involved and interact? And I think that that's something that each person has to really tap into. Like, are you constantly engaging because you want a challenge, or are you engaging because you really want us to get some good engagements and actually have conversations that can really bring forth nuanced conversations, which is what our platform is about. It's about bringing nuanced conversations to the table. So if you're going to say or make a comment about something where we want engagement on, actually start a conversation.
And don't be a hater.
Actually start a conversation. Like, it doesn't have to be, if you agree or don't agree, we want to hear more on why you agree or do not agree. So I think intentions are very important when you are supporting somebody, and realize, why are you supporting people? Is it for your own? Is it to plant your own negative seed, or is it actually to provide something that is still going to be for the good of the person you're supporting? And whether it's a lesson or just uplifting. So I think that is what the issue is with this individual, is we're seeing is not really you're not giving us enough to where we can use it to either learn from it or, agree with it. It's like it's kind of baseless responses that you're giving us. And so, yeah, we don't, that's not something that, and I'm not even about blocking or like muting people, but I'm like, you know what? We might have to
She
mute
the one that
some
was like, you
people.
know what? She got one more try.
Because it's just like, why do you, and it's a pattern. It's like,
That's
why
the
do you
problem.
continuously
Yes.
do things? Ask yourself, like, not just her, I'm speaking to anyone who, everybody has been, I really can't, I'm not saying I have never been jealous, but I've never been the person that's going to be boldly
inflicting your jealousy.
Yeah,
boldly.
I'm not a person, even if I see something on Instagram I don't agree with, I'll talk about it with my friends. Hey, I don't agree with this. This is whatever. I'm not the person that's going to comment any negativity or trolling on things I don't agree with.
And there's ways to state your opinion. In fact, you could say no and you not have a response. That's in your right. But if you are consistently, sweetie, the first or one of the first people to comment, that means you're a fan. We support you. We love you. But when you just say no, you're spamming us with no's. But sis, you're saying you don't agree with anything we have to say. Speak up, because you're annoying.
Oh my goodness.
You're annoying me. Okay. Y'all forgive me. But I have a question, and I would like for us to share some feedback for those that may actually be questioning themselves if they're displaying jealousy. So what are some, maybe give three ways you could figure out if you do have the spirit of jealousy. I think we're all could be jealous during certain times, whether it's a season, whether we're not in the best position due to our insecurities. But when you have the spirit of jealousy, that means you have been overcome by jealousy. How can people know?
Well,
I had the spirit of jealousy.
They'll know when they reflect and look at, okay, what is it that I'm trying to actually what is it that I'm giving out, and what is it that I want people to receive from it? If it's automatically a negative thing, it's probably coming from a place of jealousy. Correction and criticism is welcomed. It's welcomed, but it has to be in a way where it could be a teachable moment. So it's like, what is your intention? And you really have to think about what is it that you're putting out. Once you can start getting on that track of thinking to figuring out, okay, am I displaying jealousy? Think about the times, what are the thoughts that stem in your mind when you when you display certain actions? Like, okay, was I feeling envious when I sent that? Was I feeling like a little hatred? Was I doing this out of the kindness of my heart? Did I go out of my way to do this? And just seeing, like, is this a thing of impulsiveness that I'm doing? Because jealousy often can come with impulsiveness, or it could be calculated. But just how much am I putting into the responses I'm giving people or what I'm displaying? Though that's very important. And also just really sitting with yourself and asking myself, how am I doing? Like, where am I at in my life? What are things that I like and dislike? And the things that I dislike, are they causing me to lash out outwardly on other people? I think that's very important. So you have to stay self-reflective and really not be so self-righteous. You can have an opinion on things, but realizing what is your contribution to something you're giving an opinion on? What is it really stemming from, and how is it affecting the person that's going to be receiving your criticism? So it's all being self-reflective, and hopefully you have some accountability people around you that could tell you, like, girl, that's some hater stuff. But a lot of times when people act in jealousy, they act in private, in secrecy. They're not. It's not something that,
because they know it's nasty.
And that's another thing. Are you okay with displaying this stuff out loud for other people who really know you to see? Because if you aren't, you're probably operating from a state of jealousy.
Boom.
If you wouldn't be proud of people knowing that you did this, then it's probably not the right thing to do.
And we're gonna help you work on the ugly, okay?
We're not just talking about her. We talking about anybody. We don't want to single her out.
Oh no, we're not. We're not talking to you, girl. We're not talking to you. We're talking to everybody because I went through it. Still battle it time to times when I'm not hitting certain goals, or sometimes we get insecure about certain things, or social media, which is just a blob of everybody's highlights of their lives. You know, you just be like, I should be here, but it's okay. So mine are, like Shem was saying, what are your intentions? Is your intention to spread love, to give assistance, that means to serve, or is it to bring someone down, or to make someone feel less than? Mm-hmm. Pay attention to what I just said. What are your intentions? How do you want that person to feel after you showcase whatever action it is you're displaying? Next one. Do you feel as if other people are beneath you? This is a big question because typically, let me know if I'm wrong. Go in the comments. Let me know. Typically, people that feel as if they are superior than others have a jealousy spirit. Why? Because they expect or just assume that anybody else isn't as good as them. So they don't want to even see people do quote unquote better than them because they believe everybody's beneath them. So typically the people that feel as if they are better than everyone are insecure people because they just have that fake confidence to make them feel as if they're intelligent, they're beautiful, they're smart, when in reality, they don't ever want to feel as if someone could be better than them. Meaning, they have a jealousy spirit. So if someone were to come off as if they're smarter than them, more beautiful, that wouldn't make them happy. Mm-hmm. They would be jealous of it. They would want to, in some way, bring that person down or, make that person feel less than. Last question I want you guys to take away is, does other people's success continually make you upset or feel less than? Again, all these questions are linked to each other. When you see your peer, your sister, or someone on social media doing well, does it make you upset continuously? Again, we have those moments where we're on social media and we're like, oh, where's my husband? Look at them. That should be me. And that's okay. But I'm talking about continuously you seeing people display positivity, success, wealth, and you're just like, oh, annoying. She always showing off on her page.
And also if you are constantly seeking something that you know is giving you a negative response.
Yeah.
So constantly seeking to continue to look at that family that you say you want and it's bringing you nothing but negative thoughts and negative feelings about yourself, and you continue. It's like an addictive behavior almost.
We're getting there. And on a deeper level, like Shan was saying, you have to look at yourself and really be real with yourself. Don't think about your ego and all of that pride. Ask yourself, after you see those people doing well, how does it make you feel? Do you feel less than? Do you feel insecure? Do you feel like you're behind? Do you feel like you're not living in purpose? And you know what? Last question I want you guys to really take home with you is, do you find pleasure in other people's misery? Boom. That's when I drop the mic. Do you find pleasure in seeing other people doing horribly because it makes you feel as if you are doing well? And I'm not saying that one time where, you're like, oh, I'm glad that person showcased that they have problems too because it makes them seem more human and relatable. I'm talking about when somebody showcases their sorrows, their pains, and you're literally like,
and you're happy, or you find joy in it.
That's a spirit, and you gotta conquer it. You cannot let that jealousy spirit fester. So if any of these questions or statements that Sham and I have shared with you connected with you, you have tons of self-reflection to do. Because you will not, trust me, I'm coming from somebody who had this spirit. You will never, until you fix it, you will never be a happy person.
Yeah.
You will live your life in a facade because you will try to feed yourself with that you're better, that you're this, and this to make yourself feel better. But the moment somebody showcases that authentic passion and drive and success, not the one that you're lying to yourself about, but the authentic version of that, it triggers, it hits your spirit, it hits your ego, it hits your security. Yeah.
Yeah, that's deep.
That's deep.
Yeah, so we know that Ogechi has been dealing with some, she can see where people are dealing with jealousy. I've noticed it, and I think outside of social media, people could be jealous in life, especially with family. That's something that when I think of jealousy and stuff, I always link it back to some family members I have who hasn't been as supportive through things that I've been through as they could. And when I see jealousy, I completely cut off any satisfaction or even dissatisfaction they can get from having an insight in my life. Now, you can't really do that on social media because if people want to see, they're going to see. Even if you block them, unfollow them, mute them, they're still going to find a way. But in your everyday waking life, when you have people who are jealous or just display that spirit, it's not anything that anybody can overcome. But if they're in that season of jealousy, you don't want to be around them, whether you're doing well or bad, because it won't do anything for you if you're a person who are not trying to, because some people get off from people being jealous and will be like, oh, that's like, they fuel off of people being jealous of them.
Yeah,
and
it's
that's
a motivator.
and it's that I don't like that. I don't want to be around it. I only want like authentic people around
I don't
me.
like people that love haters.
Love haters, exactly.
I get the whole hype of those are my haters. I'm gonna keep going because you shouldn't allow negativity to take over what you're doing. But people that actually love it,
that love it and keep them around just so they can see you better. Doing good. And then that's not that's real affirmation that I want around me. I want people that genuinely love and care for me and can give me not just praise but also useful criticism. And so I've had family members in my life where it's like, you know what, I can see this, you are struggling with this, and so I'm just going to remove myself completely. I don't want you to see me doing good or bad. I don't want it at all. I don't want the energy. I don't want the spirit, because I also don't want you to continue to perpetuate that behavior. I want you to actually get better. So me being around you is still a detriment to you because now you're going to continue that thing and it's going to continue. I don't want to see you hurt either from me succeeding.
There needs to be some type of disconnection or temporary separation because you need to be able to go back and reflect. And even moving on to, how we're going to end it, we should provide some tips. Sham could go, then I'll go, and then we'll close it. Some tips to you guys on how, if you figured out that you have this spirit of jealousy, or if you just battling jealousy, it happens. What are some tips to take yourself out of having that spirit or from having those thoughts? I'll give y'all some tips because it's work. It takes work.
It does. I don't think I've ever really had a jealous spirit. Like if I have, not for long. I can't really think of a specific time. Because I just feel like everybody is unique to them, and there's things everybody has something to contribute to this life. So I would say when you're feeling like, when you have become aware of it, because it takes for you to become aware of it first to even work on it. So once you become aware, some tips I could say is to kind of disconnect from people and figure out what are your strengths. Fall back in love with yourself. Do things that you are good at and strengthen those. And even fail in those, but see the purpose you have within yourself to be good at something, because we all have gifts that are rightfully ours. Maybe I'm a little jealous of people that can sing like that because it's such a powerful thing. It's not that's not a serious thing, but I'll be like, dang, they can sing. Like I just be like, how, why, where is it coming from? But it's not something that like wrecks my life, but that's a moment that just made me think, because I'll really be like, dang, I wish I could sing. Like it's so beautiful.
That's like beautiful resentment. It's
maybe
like,
so.
Dang, girl.
Yeah, it's true. And maybe
you're admiring.
Maybe if I could sing, that jealousy would be heightened because it'll be like, I'm in the pool with you, but you up here and I'm
better.
right here.
Thank you.
So
That's where
it's
it
like I
comes
can't
from.
think at all. So maybe that's not a good one.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's just like, you just want to reaffirm yourself. That's really when you find yourself being jealous of something or someone, it means that you haven't showed yourself enough love. So you need to give yourself some love. For my Christians out there, or people just spiritual or whatever, reaffirm yourself and what your creator has taught, put in you. Identify those gifts. Remember those small things. Some people think that you have to have a big gift, like to be able to freaking sing or dance and things that are very performative. But things such as being organized, like that sounds so minute, but it's like, no, being organized, that's a gift you have. You know how to really prioritize and maximize time. These are things that people struggle with, which stop them from living the life they can be living, and you have that gift. And so it's important to just even the smallest things, praise yourself for it. Unplug from things that actually put you deeper into your insecurities as well. And that's part of pouring love back into yourself. I think that's the number one tip I would say.
Yeah, I was sitting here trying to think, and maybe while talking, what I forgot would come to me, but definitely number one is to unplug. You have to take yourself out of those situations and focus on you, okay? Number one that I have seen is for you to reinstill that confidence inside of you. You need to say words of affirmation, and you need to remind yourself of the person who you are, what you bring to the table. Now, we all have flaws, but we need to work on self-improvement. How can we work on those flaws? Understand that we are not defined by these flaws. And you also need to understand that regardless of, at times you may feel like us Black women or us women or whoever, that we're up against each other. You need to always understand that, one, nobody's in control but God. So if you are fulfilling, if you focus on you and you fulfill your purpose, it's going to work out. Also, you need to understand that there is always room at the table. Don't let society define your mindset.
That crab in a barrel mindset.
Crab in a barrel mindset and instill all these fears inside of you, because I know that a lot of, hatred fuels from fear. Like, you start hating on someone when you have these fears that they're going to take your position, that they're going to take away an opportunity. So you start to hate on that person instead of supporting them. Another solution is to spread love, meaning you will see how powerful and actually you will receive the blessing return to you when you spread love to people. Whether you're spreading kind words, or whether you're praying for people, or whether, you see a pretty girl, instead of hating on her, you say, girl, you are gorgeous. And then she looks at you like, you are gorgeous too. You will feel love. You will feel even better than you looking at that person, but like, she thinks she all that.
So sometimes you have to display the latter response. Exactly. Instead of going for that negative, search for that positive. Exactly. So that takes, really reprogramming.
You said it. And work on your insecurity, because it does take work. We're not perfect. We're going to have moments where we are jealous and everything. But take enjoyment in personal development. We're personal developers. And we understand how the mind works. We're both we both were psych majors, graduated with our psychology degree. So we understand behavior and it's just the whole psyche of everything, like our psyche and how we think, and we incorporate spirituality and how it all flows together. We understand that living in this world and being in this world and growing in your craft and growing in you being confident and true to yourself, sometimes life, challenges those thoughts and it makes us think of negative things, but we have to be above that negativity. The negativity is normal, but we can't allow it to consume us. So, and if you guys have any other tips, please let us know, because
we'll probably have some type of way where you guys can interact and give us some feedback on what you think about, jealousy and
definitely first thing is to embrace it, because it doesn't make you a horrible person. You're a human being. Embrace it, acknowledge it, unplug, and then start working on it. Period. Period.
All right, so yeah, we hope you guys enjoyed our little rant. We just wanted to talk about something that just is something that's we've experienced recently, and then the course of our lives. Yeah. So we hope you guys found this episode of value to you. We hope you share it. Make sure you comment below, give us a rating, and follow us on Faith and F Boys on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Also, we are on YouTube. We are on Spotify. We are on SoundCloud. We are on Google Play, and we are on Apple Pod. So make sure to check us out. Exactly. Make sure to check us out on whatever platform you have a preference for, and give us a listen. So we are done for the day. Peace, love, and prosperity. Bye-bye.